In this series, we're going to go through the DP departure procedure, in this case, a standard instrument departure, or SID. Welcome to another Navigraph tutorial on chart reading. My name is Jason and I'll be your instructor for this lesson. At the end of this tutorial, you'll be able to fly any DP or departures procedure assigned to you. We will use Wellington, November, Zulu, Whiskey, November for this tutorial. Follow along with us by opening your Navigraph Charts app. A SID, or Standard Instrument Departure, is like a train station that has many tracks going in and out of the station. That's essentially what a SID is. It is a way to organize air traffic in a methodical way, controlling when and where airplanes will reach certain waypoints. This helps ease ATC and pilot workload alike. Let's jump into the DP. On this chart, you should know about this part here. We discussed this in our first tutorial on our channel. But just for the new folks, we're at November Zulu Whiskey November, or WLG, Wellington International. It's an RNAV SID chart on page 10-3B. We will go through this briefing methodically by going from left to right. Let's start on the top left. We see 122.3, as that is our departure controller. We'll have to contact that controller just after takeoff. We know that their services have radar as the R in parentheses. The airport sits at an altitude of 41 feet, and looking at the notes, there's a few items to be aware of. We have a transition altitude of 13,000 feet. Note number 1, GNSS is required. That basically stands for Global Navigation Satellite System, and it's basically a series of satellites that's used instead of one satellite in GPS. The second one is RNAV1 required. That stands for Area Navigation. In times past, we would have to fly from VOR to VOR, which is a ground-based way to navigate. Now we could go to a more direct route between two GPS waypoints using RNAV. It saves time and fuel. As stated before, we're going to need to contact Wellington approach, or in this case departure, 122.3 as soon as possible prior to about 1,500 feet. We'll need to cross Nimos or Russell at or above 12,000 feet. And the last note, we cannot initiate a turn before crossing the runway end. Don't get all confused with the waypoints now. We'll discuss this in a minute. The name of the SID is ISNP 5 Papa for runway 34. We have some ATC speed restrictions for Category B aircraft that we're going to need to pay attention to if we're a bit slower. However, we're in a Category C aircraft, so these speed restrictions do not apply to us. Take a look at the minimum climb gradient with your ground speed. We're going to be around about 150 to about 200 knots. So just ballparking this, it looks about 1,200 feet per minute. That's going to be what's required for flying this departure procedure up to 2,500 feet. Ensure that your performance of your aircraft can meet these minimum standards of the climb gradient. Let's take a look at the overall chart. Let's start at the airport. As you can see, there are 3 tracks or transitions once we depart ISNP, which is a waypoint in our GPS. We have ISNP, AGSOP, and UPVAP. They're all GPS waypoints that assist us in knowing where we are. We will need to fly to a heading of about 340 degrees until we reach 2,000 feet. Then we'll need to level off while turning toward ISNP. Once at ISNP, we will continue on the UPVAP track. We'll fly to AGSOP and then UPVAP. UPVAP has an altitude limitation of below 8,000 feet. This is probably due to arriving traffic on a star. You can tell if it's an above or below restriction by the blue line above or below the waypoint. If the line is capping the waypoint or on top of it, this indicates we cannot climb higher and will need to stay under that 8,000 feet. If the line was below the 8,000 feet, we would need to be above the 8,000 feet waypoint at UPVAP. ATC can issue higher altitudes, but we can only climb above that if ATC tells us to do so. Notice how after ISNP the lines are dashed. This tells us that we'll be starting the transition tracks, and the SID is technically over. However, if we file the transition, we're going to need to fly that transition. ISNP to AGSOP is about 4 nautical miles at 2,000 feet. AGSOP to UPVAP is about 11 nautical miles, and we could start our climb to 8,000 feet at that point. All right, that's it. Come and join us in the flight deck as we show you the departure in action. We hope you enjoyed this short tutorial on standard instrument departures. We are certain that you'll have great success flying some of these departures. Until next time, simulated flight, real navigation.